The chopping sound of rotor blades echoes across the Mount Fuji training grounds as a weapon that defined an era prepares for its final flight. In Tokyo, the Ministry of Defense has finalized a decision that seals the fate of the Japan Ground Self-Defense Force fleet of 48 Fuji Bell AH-1S Cobra attack helicopters. This represents the complete termination of the nation's manned attack aviation branch, without a direct rotorcraft replacement. The stakes could not be higher for the island nation, because the strategic shift leaves Japan completely exposed along its southwestern Ryukyu island chain during a period of unprecedented regional tensions. Leading global defense analysts argue that the intense proliferation of modern man-portable air defense systems on modern battlefields has rendered low-flying manned assets utterly vulnerable, exposed, and tactically useless against integrated naval and ground forces. On paper, the only tactical salvation for the island nation would be a radical pivot in technology. Under the newly approved fiscal year 2026 defense budget of 58 billion United States dollars, Japan has allocated an initial 11,100 million yen, which is roughly 70 million United States dollars, to procure wide-area strike and reconnaissance unmanned aerial vehicles like the Bayraktar TB2 or Heron Mark II. This marks the beginning of a total shift toward unmanned systems. By removing the legendary Fuji Bell AH-1S Cobra from active service, the military eliminates the massive financial burden of maintaining an aging single-engine platform that lacks advanced electronic countermeasure suites. Before we go on, do you believe that completely replacing manned attack helicopters with unmanned aircraft is a brilliant move or a fatal mistake for a nation's defense? Subscribe to the channel now to follow this deep dive into modern warfare. And tell me where you're watching from. To understand why this end is so tragic, we must look back at what made this aircraft the pride of the Japan Ground Self-Defense Force. The Fuji Bell AH-1S Cobra was not a simple off-the-shelf import. It was meticulously built under license in Japan by Fuji Heavy Industries, known today as Subaru, specifically tailored to meet the strict defensive requirements of the nation. With a specialized front fuselage width of just 99 centimeters, it was an incredibly narrow target, making it a ghost when flying at low altitudes using nap-of-the-earth tactical maneuvers to hide behind mountain ridges and forest canopies. The primary weapon system that earned this aircraft its tank killer reputation was the BGM-71 TOW wire-guided anti-tank missile system. Throughout the Cold War, Japan deployed these platforms as a strategic shield to halt potential armored invasions on the northern island of Hokkaido. Operating in pairs, the aircraft would pop up from behind terrain cover, fire, and remain completely stationary while the gunner manually guided the missile using optical tracking systems toward the target at a maximum range of 3,750 meters. However, this exact firing doctrine has become its fatal vulnerability in modern air defense environments. Requiring a $12 million manned platform to hover motionless within 4,000 meters of an adversarial force is tactical suicide today. Modern man-portable air defense systems easily exceed a range of 5,500 meters, allowing ground forces to lock onto and neutralize the aircraft before it can even guide its missile to the target. Furthermore, relying on a single Lycoming T-53L703 turboshaft engine introduces immense risks when operating across the open ocean gaps of the southwestern islands, as a single mechanical failure leaves the crew completely defenseless with no secondary power source. The ultimate decision by Tokyo to pull the trigger on the retirement of the aging attack helicopter fleet is driven entirely by a radical transformation in geography and threat perception. The primary defensive focus of the nation has shifted completely from the open northern plains of Hokkaido down to the scattered, isolated territories of the southwestern Ryukyu island chain. Operating a single engine platform over vast maritime gaps, stretching hundreds of kilometers between these islands, is an unacceptable hazard for flight crews. Instead of injecting millions of United States dollars into maintaining an obsolete fleet, the historic $58 billion United States dollars defense budget for the current fiscal period reallocates those funds toward an unmanned swarm strategy. Consider the tactical mathematics of this transition. A single manned aircraft requires 2 highly trained pilots and a massive logistics footprint of dozens of maintenance personnel on the ground. Conversely, a single standardized shipping container hidden on a rocky island outcrop in Okinawa can house up to 50 loitering munitions, controlled remotely by operators located hundreds of kilometers away. These advanced unmanned aerial vehicles can remain airborne for 12 to 24 hours, monitoring hostile naval task forces across a massive radius. If an adversarial fleet attempts to approach the southwestern maritime borders, they will no longer face a small group of low-flying attack helicopters. Instead, they will be forced to penetrate a dense swarm of hundreds of precision strike drones operating in perfect synchronization with ground-based Type 12 anti-ship cruise missile batteries, which are currently being upgraded to achieve an operational standoff range of 1,000 kilometers. By adopting this asymmetrical defensive posture, the nation is effectively transforming its remote islands into an impenetrable network of unmanned fortresses. Yet, this aggressive bet on fully autonomous defense architecture leaves defense planners facing a critical blind spot that mainstream media rarely addresses, which is weather dependency and electronic warfare susceptibility. The southwestern maritime regions are severe storm corridors, experiencing multiple typhoons annually with wind gusts that easily exceed the structural thresholds of medium-endurance unmanned aerial vehicles. While severe weather conditions force lightweight drones out of the sky, a heavily armored manned platform can still operate below the cloud deck to support ground forces. Furthermore, if an adversary deploys high-powered wide-area electronic jamming suites to completely sever satellite navigation and line-of-sight control frequencies, automated drone swarms risk immediate tactical failure. In that dark scenario, the human brain and trained eyes of a pilot inside a physical cockpit remain entirely irreplaceable. The tactical lesson of this transition is clear. As technology evolves, sacrificing human adaptability for mechanical efficiency can create dangerous capability gaps that a clever adversary will exploit. Tokyo has made its definitive choice for the future, accepting the retirement of its loyal tank killer as an inevitable cost of modernization. As the final airframes are processed for structural decommissioning, the era of manned attack aviation in Japan officially draws to a close, replaced by an unproven network of silicon and software. Do you believe that removing manned attack helicopters completely in favor of autonomous drone technology is a brilliant look into the future, or a dangerous mistake that leaves the nation exposed to unforeseen tactical failures? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Hit like and subscribe to stay updated on the shifting balance of global military power.